It does not have to be a new year, a new you. It just has to be a healthier you in the new year, you guys. Make sure you check down below in the description box where you can find the links to TLC products, including the ISOT, the Nutriburst, the Life Drops, the Resolution Drops. There's just so many things there to help you in burning fat and staying healthy. There's even the new immune tea, which I'm going to order. So I can't wait to try that. And I hope they get the sea moss back. But I do love the sea moss from Mint and Ocean. I'm sorry, it's supposed to be a commercial. Yes, okay? Get those TLC products from me, and do not forget that my biggest life change has been through Kiara LASHAE, Team LASHAE, ifyoucanmove.com. You guys get cute little outfits from Peja and Amari. You also check out Just Move supplements because she is helping us with the energy. Okay, this is the energy supplement. Love it. Okay, just got my protein. Gonna get me some after I work out. So yeah, y'all, down below in the description box, support. So you guys are always asking me where I get my glasses from. So I thought I would finally give y'all a real little ad, okay? Firmoo, I can't see, bitch. Okay, I'm just playing. I'm just joking. These are my new Firmoo glasses here. Super cute, right? They are prescription because I'm like totally blind. And I got these matte ones that I think are really dope. And I felt like they would go good with the fact that I no longer have hair. You know what I'm saying? But either way, you guys can use my link and give me credit and get you some glasses from Firmoo. Come on in. Sorry, y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue. So let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video. Right?
And we're back like we never left. What's up, y'all? All right. So we are back for BBS, which is the Bondi Blue Show reality show edition, where we just talk about some of the main things that went down on reality shows that I don't feel like doing full reviews for anymore, such as Married to Medicine, Black Ink Crew, or VH1's Couples Retreat. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start it off. Let's start off with Married to Medicine. First of all, we find out at the beginning of the episode that Contessa has the COVID. Okay, she contracted the COVID, so everybody had to quarantine for 14 days. They were doing Zoom calls here, talking to each other and such. And then once everybody was good, she went over to Quad's house so that they can talk. And I'm like, oh, so Quad and Contessa are friends? I didn't even realize that. Okay. I also forgot to mention that Jackie showed everyone a rubber puss on the Zoom call. And I was just like, I know it's about vagina health. I do. I'm gonna let it go. So yes, back to Contessa. Contessa and Quad, first of all, talk about how a lady who was like a maid or a babysitter or something like that kidnapped a dog. And Quad was like, oh no, you would never steal my girls and get away with it. Oh no, honey. And I was just like, yeah, if somebody tried to steal Olivia, it probably would be on some shoot. Not even stab. Like, she wouldn't even let you catch her though. Like, and if Barack was close by, you not trying to catch her. Because he don't play about her. But anyway, the conversation really is about Scott. Because once again, Contessa wants to use another opportunity to bash Scott, to talk about Scott going through, and I'm not going to say bash. That's a strong word. Let me take that back. Maybe not bash, but she's always complaining about him. And they're talking about how around 50, these men start acting a fool, child. They start acting a fool. Okay. I said, yeah, they do. At least through the television. I don't know. I ain't fuck no 50-year-old man. So I don't know what they do once they get to that age range. But I can see how the midlife crisis would happen during that time. And Quad feels like, that's when everything went downhill with her and her doctor husband. I said, child, sure, we'll use that as an example. Or did he just come of age and realize he didn't want to be with somebody that didn't want to give him the things he wanted out of the relationship as well? But Contessa brings up that Scott told her that he was almost done with her ass when she went to school. And she's like, almost done with me because I went to school? Like, that's why you're done with me? I didn't cheat. I didn't do. I said, bitch, you took yourself out of the household. If you don't realize the strain that put on your husband, not only as a husband, but as a father to your kids, he no longer has a partner in this with him. So during this time period, he's by himself. He's low-key angry with you for taking yourself out of y'all's household and away from the kids and away from him. So yeah, there was probably some resentment there. How do you feel like that's not going to translate to issues in your marriage, Contessa? I'm so tired of her acting like that wasn't something that caused a rift. It did. It doesn't matter that you did it for the right reasons. It doesn't mean that it wasn't, it's bad because it wasn't cheating. Like, that does not mean it did not cause a rift. Just because something isn't necessarily deemed as unacceptable in a marriage or a relationship, it doesn't mean that it won't cause a rift. And it caused a rift. And you seem to not want to have to deal with that. You want to just blame him being 50 in midlife crisis for y'all issues instead of taking responsibility for the fact that you left your husband for however amount of time it was. For whatever reason, you still were not there. That caused an issue. That issue has to be resolved. You refuse to realize that you actually caused the issue. Okay? Child, she make me tired. Then we got Lisa Nicole and Toya right here. Okay. And basically, they talk about Quad and how during that Zoom call, Carrie said something about Heavenly being jealous of Toya. And then Heavenly was like, girl, ain't nobody jealous of Toya. The brokest bitch in here. I'm jealous of the brokest bitch in here. She said that. And then Quad was like, child, listen, we're all happy that Toya has finally purchased her dream home. We're so proud of her, but ain't nobody in this from jealous of no damn Toya. Okay. And, Lisa Nicole takes it back to Toya as shade. So now you got, and honestly, it probably was shade, but I thought it was messy. Carrie and Lisa Nicole seem to just be on the show to create mess amongst the main cast members at this point. That's what it feels like to me. But I just kind of felt like Toya is getting more and more ammunition to continue to act like an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's a little exhausting. Like, is it just me? She's exhausting this season. She's been exhausting in previous seasons, but sometimes she'll have like redeeming moments. She's been exhausting me this whole season with the woe is me. And there's just a lot of frustration that she has going on, which makes me feel like it's something going on behind the scenes with Toya that we don't know about, that she's not sharing on the show, but we're just seeing the anger and the angst behind it. You know what I'm saying? But I guess we'll figure it out whenever it's time for it to be revealed to us, y'all. So, y'all, let's go ahead and move on to Cecil and Simone, who are having a discussion about how lonely he feels now that the kids are out of the house. And he also discussed that he is not one of those parents that feels like just because a kid turns 18, we need to just push them out on the street. I don't believe that either, but I also believe that I don't think Black parents are really trying to like push their kids out on the street for them to be living, on the street. I don't feel like that's what happens a lot of the times, but I do feel like it is a time where you may be scared to take a step forward and you need a push. So parents feel like you need a push out there into the world so you can step out on your own. I don't think everybody's trying to just throw their children out, in the streets with no real recourse or, safety net, but they do need to get out into the world. And this is what my thing is. Cecil was making this point, but the truth of the matter is it's coming from a selfish place. You don't like the fact that you're alone now. When the kids are there and when the dog, God rest his soul, their little dog died, it was real sad. That's got him feeling sad too. Get another dog. But I really do feel like his loneliness is what's making him feel like, I don't need the kids to be out of the house. It's because you're lonely and because Simone is always working. That's what that's about. You need to figure out something to do with yourself. But your kids shouldn't remain at home, unnecessarily just so you don't have to be lonely. And then you put that under the guise of, oh, we don't have to rush them out. No, nigga, you just don't want to be by yourself. These kids need, especially these boy children, y'all damn sure don't need to be babying them boy children. I just want to say that because we tired of y'all pushing out these man children because y'all didn't want to force them to have responsibility and shit. We tired of y'all doing this. Okay. Cause it happens. Anyway, so Heavenly and her son, sorry, y'all, they're out of order. This one right here. Child, what is Heavenly wearing? she needed a closet for that. I'm gonna let it go. So Heavenly and her son are doing like real estate business together, which I think is amazing. So they go to look at a property. They had $100,000 limit. He goes and brings her to a $400,000 house, but it is seated on the lake and in a neighborhood where not a lot of the homes are up for sale. Okay. So even though, you know, we trying to put our poker face on, once they get down to the dock, she like, I might buy this house and we could just, you know, renovate it and put it up for rent. Shit, she might want to move into that house because it's so peaceful. But she was definitely interested in that house and she wanted to let us know that she could buy that house and another house and another house after that. Maybe they'll just keep buying houses, bitch. I'll do whatever I want to do because I can do it because I got money. Unlike some of the rest of these bitches on these shows that's so excited about the one house they got because they ain't got no money. It was Toya shade. it was okay, but you know the man was telling them they need to make an offer quickly, and I just kind of feel like, is she gonna do it? If she does, I would really like to see the process of them renovating that home because it does give you Lake Bailey teas. It's nice, so I would like to see like, you know, what are they going to do with the property? Or y'all just showing us so you can showcase that you got money and that your son is doing something with his life. Okay, thank you. But I would like to see the continuation of this. Thank you. Let's go ahead and move on to Dr. Jackie calling all the girls down to talk about their vaginas and play with sex toys. So Jackie has all the ladies meet up. And they have this, like, I think she said she was a former porn star. This lady come and she just gives kind of like sex education. They have like their little freak numbers and every freak number has a sex toy assigned to it. So I appreciated that energy while we were trying to have this fun time by the pool with the porn star lady and the sex toys. Okay, which is, you tell me that sounds like a good time. Okay, based on some of my favorite porn, that sounds like a good time. Okay, that's not the point. The point is LaToya and Anila. Anila wants everybody to know how upset she is with Toya because Toya is going around calling her a broke bitch to all of the people in a rich neighborhood because she didn't want to pay the makeup artist that Toya had hooked her up with. Okay, Anila, I know you upset about it, but you brought it up on the bus about, you know, oh, they really want their money, huh? Yeah, bitch. Pay people so they don't have to talk bad about you. That's what happens when you don't pay people. They talk bad about you. Y'all know I don't be wanting to belch on camera, but you know, whatever. You're just drinking something, sir. I was kind of annoyed with Anila because I felt like Anila was trying to have a moment. As much as Toya, you know, is messy and probably is going around y'all neighborhood talking bad about you and all of that, I get that. But I also feel like you just want to be bothered to me. You always have an issue that's not a big deal. Pay them people their money and nobody would have to talk about you, bitch. Like, period, point blank. But she tells Simone, okay? And we're going through the sex toys and child, Jackie said she was a 6. Jackie said she was a 7, but when they broke out the electronic tongue, then all of a sudden she was a 6.5. Quad said she was 7 and they broke out the anal beads, okay? Heavenly was a 5 and they put something in her mouth to gag her, which I thought was hilarious. But the most enjoyable was watching Contessa be put into bondage submissively and into it in a way that I was not expecting. Like, she was okay with being whipped. I mean, she's in the military, so I feel like there's an amount of taking orders that they like, but the way she allowed for that lady to tie her up and put the thing around her neck and put the blindfold and she bent over and she was getting whipped, and Heavenly was like, Contessa's sexy. I was like, she is sexy, bitch. And I also felt like, but Contessa, is this what you're doing with Scott? Or is this what you're doing with your little girlfriend? Never mind. Anyway, Island Vision Aries, thank you so much for the super chat. Heavenly said they purchased a lake house. Okay, I went to see the part. I want to see the part HGC spent. Maybe yes. Thank love from Hawaii. Thank you. I appreciate you all the way from Hawaii. Child, I would love to be there right now. But yes, I would love to see that process. But child, Contessa, child. It just gave me feelings. That's all. It just gave me little feelings in my nether regions. It's all right. Just to see her in that position, I was just kind of like, oh, she was into that. And I was into watching her be into that. Okay. Scott probably not getting none of that action. It's unfortunate. Okay. Because I tie you up, me. But that's another conversation for another time. So let's move on to Quad going to talk to Heavenly. first of all, Heavenly is so surprised that the little girl got weave in her hair. Okay, my daddy didn't let me put weave in my hair till I was going to college. Bitch, it was a different time. It was a different time. Nobody cares. The little girl is cute. Leave her alone. Okay, asking her when the last time she kissed somebody, she ever kissed somebody. You know the little girl didn't kiss somebody. The little girl ain't no little girl. Okay, the little girl about to go, what was she, 16, 17, something like that? The little girl didn't kiss somebody before. Okay. And then Heavenly was like, Quiet first kiss when she was 7 years old. I was like, mine was at 9. What's your point? It's a kiss. What's your point, Heavenly? You probably would have kissed before then if somebody would let your ass out the house, but your mom ain't never want to let you out the house. Just saying. But they sit down and talk about Toya. Oh, I already know Scott is not the dominant one in that marriage. I'm aware. Contessa went straight submissive with that lady. You saw it, right? Yeah. I would enjoy that. Anyway, both personally. I like being submissive and dominant, but probably submissive more so than dominant. But anyway, that's not the point, y'all. Different conversation for a different time. Sometimes in kink, sometimes in a kink. Toya and Anila. They're having this conversation and all of that. And I just wanted to mention that Toya apologized or said that she wasn't talking about her, and it was dismissive. It was like she really didn't give a fuck about Anila. I think Toya is over Anila at this point. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. But yeah, so back to Quad and Heavenly sitting down to talk about Anila being broke and Toya and what happened at the event. Okay, and Quad said that Toya is smelling herself because you are telling this lady about her money when you got issues with your money too, bitch. So now that you done bought your house, you're smelling yourself, and you're gonna try to shit on Anila and talk about her to everybody, how she not paying her bills and all of that. And I'm like, Quad, why do you always have to take it to that level? What did Toya do to you? Can somebody tell me if Toya did something to Quad? Because I'm just a little confused about, what's going on between the two of them. Like, it just seems like negative energy for no reason. So I don't know what's going on there. No. Toya was online talking real bad about Quad house. Yeah. That's what it was. And so now every time Quad gets an opportunity, she's kind of going for the jugular a little bit with Toya. And that's what she was doing. She was like, oh, did you steal for this house? Was you beg, borrow, and steal for this house? Oh, no, you work for this house? Oh, all right. I was just checking because I didn't want you to be like Toya Heavenly. I was just kind of like, y'all just read that poor lady down about her house. And the energy just seems weird. I feel like we are not seeing a lot of things when it comes to Married to Medicine. Like, y'all beefing, but for what? You know what I'm saying? Just doesn't make sense. And I do feel like something is going on with Toya behind the scenes, because Toya was completely detached in that scene. Like, Anila was trying to talk to her. She was like, you sound crazy, girl. Ain't nobody talking about you. Don't nobody care. Byron. Like, it just seemed that way to me. But yeah, y'all, Married to Medicine is low-key giving. It's enough for us to do a little yang. But Anila explained with Heavenly and Funky Dineva that they cut a lot out, right? And Funky said the makeup artist got on his review and said she paid them on time, and Toya knew it. I think that's why she mad. Oh wait, so she did pay the girl? Wait, I'm confused. Did they get paid or did they not get paid? I don't know. Toya was in last time. Right. Yeah, I said that. Toya don't have no respect for Anila. I wouldn't be friends. She doesn't. She definitely doesn't have respect for her. Toya does seem to be over the heifers and doesn't want to leave the show, because it's probably the few checks she gets that helps Eugene out so he can stop working his ass off. Yes, they got paid. Okay, so if they got paid, is Toya really going around talking mess about her? Is she? Either way, I'm trying to understand what's going on here, because if they cut it out, fine. Like, but if she paid him, then yeah, Toya fucked up for going around talking about that shit or bringing it up or acting like the lady didn't pay him if she did. Like, why are we talking about it if the people got paid? I think the pandemic is taking its toll on people. As someone who works from home, being in the house all day in lockdown is depressing. I think maybe that could be affecting Toya. Maybe. I be in the house all the time too. So I get it. Anila was the one who said she didn't pay the woman. Exactly. But then they saying they got paid. Child, I don't know what's going on Married to Medicine, but I want them to make it make sense because right now they barely hanging on and this shit don't make sense. So let's move on. Black Ink Crew. So we finally got to meet Caesar's new girlfriend. What's her name? Suzette. I've already explained to y'all that I'm not a fan based off of what happened with Caesar's daughter and Suzette and how she got online and addressed that girl and talked about that girl like that's not his child. And I just kind of feel like, as an adult woman, if you're really trying to come into a man's life, there needs to be a certain amount of patience for the child that he has, that he might have, somewhat of a strained relationship with because they're not always in the household. And, y'all know I made a video when the shit came out, and I do not like this girl based off of what I saw with her interaction with his daughter, because I felt like that was completely out of pocket. And I saw in the preview of next week's episode, I'm not the only one that felt like that. Ted felt like that too. I'm surprised, but Ted was like, yeah, I don't like the way she was talking to Cheyenne. That was fucked up. Okay, you need to dead that relationship after she got up there and talked to your daughter like that. So I think it's funny that we're going to see that next week. So I'm actually excited about that. But we finally get to meet Suzette. And in all honesty, Suzette looks like a mixie. I don't know if y'all know, but back in the day, Sky was a mixie. The first receptionist, Alex, was a mixie. There were a lot of, and mixies are the girls who would come to the mixers that they would have at Black Ink Crew. They would have parties all the time, especially back in the day. And Suzette was one of the girls that was always at the mixers. She was always at a Black Ink Crew party, therefore categorizing herself as what everybody on the show would have called a mixie. Okay, that's why I was like, oh, that's why y'all keep trying to big her up. You know what I'm saying? They keep trying to big her up. Oh, and she's in this and she's in real estate. Like they want to make her seem like she's this professional woman because they knew once they told us how they met that everybody would be like, oh, mixie bitch. Like, oh, your wife and a mixie. Okay. I mean, listen, all women have value. So that's, I wouldn't even care about that. I don't like the way she handled the child. And now when you put that into perspective, I find it hard to understand how you don't have a side eye for this woman. She been around. She been watching your glow up. She was a mixie. So that means she was hanging around and she was waiting for you to notice. And it took you a while, but you finally noticed her. And now y'all fucking and y'all together, and she is of that much value to you that you will still be with her regardless of how she disrespected your child that you already have a strained relationship with. You should want to be with a woman that is trying to make that situation better. And I understand that that was what you thought was going on, but the way she handled that, to me, bird. The way she handled that made me feel like bird. Okay? Right, Kwani, they said Kwani was a mixie. Yeah, Kwani, I believe Kwani was also a mixie. But at this point, that doesn't even matter. Kwani and Puma have been together for so long. Like, them people married, they got kids. Totally, to me, different type of situation as far as I'm concerned. You watch this man glow up. There was no glow up. Puma wasn't of glow up. Puma didn't even have all his teeth when him and Kwani got together. Okay, so I think that's a little bit of a different situation. I was hanging out at the parties, yeah, but I fell in love with this toothless nigga, and now we're grinding and glowing up in a family together. It's different. Yeah. Next week's gonna be interesting. But yes, y'all. So Suzette has finally been presented to us. She's in Atlanta. And with the COVID situation being way looser in Atlanta than it is in New York, and a possible shutdown happening again in New York, he wants to bring everybody down to Atlanta to work into the Atlanta shop so everybody can still be making their money. We can still tape. We can do everything we need to do here in Atlanta. So we're going to move New York to Atlanta for the season. Young Bae finally comes back into the shop with her new body and her new titties, and she looks amazing. Everybody is happy to see her because they know that she is like the main tattoo artist for the most part. Okay. Spider. So Spider was tattooing this girl, right? He in there tattooing, and he starts to make comments to Crystal. Yeah, Crystal, you could come and watch me. You know, you could learn something from me. And she had, no, I can't learn nothing from you. Oh, yes, you can. You could definitely learn. He kept going on and on about how, you know, Crystal needed to learn something from him, like she was a subpar tattoo artist. And as a woman in that male-dominated field, when you're good, you know you're good. So when somebody tries to act like you're not, especially in that setting in front of clients and shit, she felt disrespected and she kind of raised up on his ass. Okay, cursed him out and told him, stop fucking playing with her like that. Stop talking to me like that. And I wasn't mad at her about it. And Bay understood where she was coming from too. Either Bay had to come and get her and, you know, calm her down. But I totally understood where she was coming from because I thought Spider was, you know, showing off and acting like a bitch. Like whenever men feel the need to shit on a woman like that, like, oh, I'm better than you and you need to come and learn from me. And, but you know, you're looking at my ass when I walk away and all of that. So it's like y'all want to sexually harass us. And then when we're actually good at our jobs, y'all try to play us like we soybean burger bitches. So yeah, fuck you. So I felt Crystal's energy in that moment. Even though I wrote it in my notes that she went off, when I actually watched it back to get the screenshots, he pissed me off. So I understand why she got that upset with him. Then we move on to Walt. So Walt had a comedy show. It was actually funny. His woman is there supporting him. So even though he's not a part of Black Ink Crew, he is still filming. He is still technically a part of the cast. And I'm wondering, are they going to tape with him while everybody is in Atlanta? And will they have some resolve with this whole he's stealing money situation because he's still a part of the show? Kwani and Puma talk about them having to, well, him having to go to Atlanta with the rest of the crew. And the look on her face says a lot. Like, nigga, short notice much? We got kids and you're going to leave for an extended period of time. Like, that's a lot. You know, I would be stressed out about that. And I know Puma's stressed out because nobody wants to go to Atlanta, no mask wearing ass state. I mean, city, you know what I'm saying? Well, state period. But you know, because Georgia as a whole ain't out here doing what they were supposed to be really doing. However, they have kept their numbers low. So people are wearing their masks, but this is what they thought. And so he was nervous about going. Okay. They go and get on the bus so that they can go to the private jet that C's got for them. And Spider takes that opportunity to apologize to Crystal for being an asshole. We're glad you did. Okay. So yeah, they had the little private jet. Everybody had to take their pictures and be stuntastic. It was cute. I'm glad they did that. You know, I'm glad he can afford to get them a private jet because nobody wants to fly, you know, with all of y'all during COVID. You know, that was cute. I was happy for that. Donna and oh boy. Hold up, y'all. I just want to make sure. Donna gets motion sickness. Okay, bitch, you should have had your Dramamine. Okay, so Donna has motion sickness and she kind of laid out. And Alex is like, hey, Puma, it's your birthday coming up. You know, you should let me do a tattoo. As soon as he says that, Donna wakes up, gets pissed off, start demeaning and going off on Alex about how he's trying to be a man. You need to be the head of this relationship and you need to change this energy around and you don't need to be worried about him. You need to be worried about me, and just starts to go off on him. And I was like, Donna, I don't know, like, you know, what's up with that? But you went all the way in for nothing in front of all of them people. Like, I just felt like it. I mean, I get into it with my husband in front of people sometimes too, but I really felt like it was embarrassing and kind of, you know, uncalled for. And then he kept calling her Big Mama, which was really freaking me out. Like, would you please stop calling her Big Mama, nigga? What is wrong with you? Like, you know, like, Walt's wife fought Donna before they got together. I don't know if I believe that. Where you heard that from? The reason why I don't know if I believe that is because Kwani and Puma had been together for a while before Donna came on the show. So I don't know how that would have happened. But anyway, yeah, him calling her Big Mama was the most problematic thing. He ends up giving her a fucking tattoo on the flight. I said, bitch, I thought you had motion sickness. Then they get a call from Treva. I said, what the fuck is Treva doing on Black Ink Crew? I don't know if y'all know Treva. Treva is one of the executive, well, not an executive. I think she's a regular producer, but she was one of the producers on Love and Hip Hop. Okay. I know Treva. All right. And when they said, I know that voice. Child, they got Treva on Black Ink Crew, and she called to say that one of the crew members in Atlanta got COVID. So now they need to clean out the whole house, sanitize it, and switch out crews. Now Puma is losing his shit because it's like, y'all already exposing me to COVID. Let me off this plane. Let me off this plane. I'm like, nigga, the COVID is not in the plane with you. Please calm down. Put your mask on and take a deep breath. It's okay. Put your mask on and take a deep breath. Y'all gonna be all right. But you know, everybody is eventually gonna make it to the house, and we'll see how that all plays out. Okay. Jess and Duchess were friends. Oh yeah, no, I remember when Jess and Duchess fought Donna. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. That wasn't Kwani though. That was Walso lady, not Pumas. Did I read it wrong? Child, mine all over the place. But yeah, Black Ink Crew was just okay last night. It wasn't really much that went on there. But I'm definitely anticipating this episode where we get to see what happened with Suzette and Caesar's daughter. Okay. But let's go ahead and move on to VH1 couples therapy. Okay. So first of all, Mendices is scared of waist deep pool water. You know, sometimes y'all niggas be so hard in the hood. Like, nigga, I ain't scared of no gun. I ain't scared of no prison sentence. I ain't scared of all of this drug dealing lifestyle shit that put my life in danger and all that. I ain't scared of none of that shit. I'm scared of waist deep water though. Oh yeah, I'm scared of water I can stand up in. Like, funny. Anyway, then they had a brunch. Rashida and Kirk was talking about how good their date was. Okay, he took me on a little date and it was real cute. Shut up, Rashida. And then we talk about how Raymond and Delicious didn't have such a good time because Raymond's ass fell asleep. Ray J and Prinky are back together, back on the same page, okay? And they are rejoining the rest of the cast members. And he apologized to her for the first time. She said, I said, for the first time, all the years y'all been together, all of the cheating, acting a fool, going, hooking up with strippers. And this is the first time he apologized to you, Prinky. Why are you trying to work it out with this nigga? Make it make sense. You can't just take your alimony and move on like Maya and find another rich man to wife your little Tweety Bird looking ass. Like, you one of the girls that these niggas love to wife up, whether you ran through or not. So I don't understand, you know, why are you sticking around with Ray J? I don't get it. When Michael said Whitney and Bobby are back, I died laughing. I was like, because that's exactly the type of makeup to break up chaotic, toxic ass energy that they give off. Okay. Yandy brought in a minister / medium. Okay. And I actually really enjoyed this. I was like, child, you know, these ignorant ass black people are not going to take this whole medium minister thing well, because they just don't. Whenever you know, speak about somebody having a connection with the spiritual world, everybody's like, oh, it's fake, it's not real, you know, you're fucked up, you're trying to take advantage of people. That's what they think. And so that lady sat down and started reading the shit out of everybody. First of all, she said there's an older woman, like a mom or a grandmother, mother figure. Somebody just lost a mother. Kirk said, I just lost my mom. And she said, well, did y'all just have a baby or a miscarriage or something like that? And Rashida was like, something like that, yeah. And she was like, well, his mom wants you to know that the baby is with her, and that baby did what it was supposed to do by just being in the womb. That baby was never meant to actually come to earth, but that baby did what it needed to do. And Rashida had to go and have a moment, and she cried and like really hit the nail on the head. Kirk had to go and kind of like woo her and tell her to get herself together, because he doesn't want to get emotional and start crying, and he felt like he was going to start crying. So it was actually like quite interesting that lady, you know, brought that up. And I'd never heard anything about them having a miscarriage. Now, of course, producers might know things and stuff like that, but it felt very genuine. Like the moment, everything felt very genuine. Prinky was also affected and started to cry, because we found out later that Prinky had a miscarriage before she got with Ray J. 10 years ago, she was in a relationship, had a miscarriage. Kind of makes me feel like it might have been Floyd's baby. But anyway, she had a miscarriage, and that really greatly affected her. And she did not realize how much it affected her. Well, the medium says, you know, I'm really feeling a strong energy from Prinky. And she says that the baby that she lost back then, that soul came back in her second child. And Ray J gets pissed off. You know, you saying it like it's a fact, and that's not, you know, that's not real. I don't like that, because now you're going too far. And I was just like, Ray J, shut your dumb ass up. Okay. Yeah, I can give you 2 examples. Okay. I'm only going to give you one. I had a friend, you know, it's more like a family member to me, more like a cousin to me. Okay. Shout out to Jess. But Jess got pregnant when we were in high school and ended up losing twin babies, a boy and a girl. maybe 5 years later, just had them same boy and girl children, okay, by the same dude, all right, a couple of years later. So even though those kids didn't come that time, okay, she had a boy child, a couple of years went by, and then she had them twins, okay, which is basically the same type of situation that Prinky went through. Well, she tried, that first child was a miscarriage, got pregnant again, and then you get the same soul. Mind you, my sister, same thing. I think my nephew tried to get here before, okay? And he didn't get here that first time, but tried again, and he came in on that second time, okay? So I definitely think that sometimes pregnancies fail or things happen, and the soul comes back and is able to come out eventually in another way. So for me, I feel like that's definitely something real that probably happens. And just because people don't have an understanding of it doesn't mean it's not real. His response was very, like One Love Shara just said, immature and disrespectful. He's immature and disrespectful to all of the guests. And once again, it's just kind of like, who raised him? Okay. Y'all, Kirk's hair is so problematic. But the medium also talked to Michael Blackson and Miss Rada alone and clocked the fact that they were pregnant before they had told anybody. And Michael was at the end of the table making fun of her, talking about, I don't play around with that shit, because in Africa, it's real, and they put root on you and something really happened to you, so we don't fool around with that. I don't like when African people do that, because I know that y'all know it's real. But I need for y'all to also understand that people wielding power is both positive and negative, like anything else. And assigning negativity to things that are innate to African spirituality or a spirituality that is separate from what white people have given us as church and all of that, that bothers me. It's real. That does not mean it always has to be a negative thing and something to be feared. But that is what we were taught, to fear what is seen as our or African spirituality and see it as evil and demonic and all of that, while viewing white people that use church as, a way to molest children as a positive example of spirituality. Okay. Thank you, Kiki Culture, for the super chat. I'm starting to feel like a stalker because I'm always commenting but wanting to show my support. Thank you, Kiki. I will watch the playback after I watch the episode. I appreciate you for the super chat and for coming through with the double watch. All right. Thank you. I haven't heard this before, but it's definitely plausible. My family always said whenever someone gets pregnant, someone in the family will die soon after. That's funny. Now I have heard that, like we will say, that's somebody else's spirit that's already been here and, that type of thing. But I definitely feel like, things, spirits, if they don't come once, they'll try to come again. I do believe that that's true. Okay. So his reaction really kind of blew me. But yes, Michael Blackson and Miss Rada are pregnant. And the lady knew and brought them to the side and told them about it. I thought that was crazy. I was like, I need to follow this lady. Shit, I want to read it. Anyway, then we had AJ sit down and talk to Raymond. She was trying to have a conversation with him about what blockages he may be having sexually, as to why he and Delicious are not, meeting eye to eye on the sex. Like Delicious is attacking the dick. She wants the dick. And Raymond is like, wait, no, I don't want to, and that energy is very exhausting, to be somebody that is sexually motivated and want to have sex with somebody and they're not giving you that same energy in return. It can be bothersome. But AJ was trying to have a conversation with him, like, what sexual blockages are you having? Because for men, when they're stressed out, when they're going through a lot, it can affect their libido. So she's trying to have a real conversation with him, and he just starts talking about all of this shit that doesn't matter. Like, oh, Delicious is always, asking me to do all of these tasks. But then he mentions that he often feels like she chastises him. So maybe that's a turn off as well, feeling like you're being mothered. But he also needs to learn from her in certain ways. So it's kind of a balance of figuring out how to take the learning, how to learn your woman and not also perceive it as being chastised or being treated like a child. But she's constantly saying he needs to step up. He needs to step up. I wish he would do it. But to me, it sounds like you don't even want to have a real conversation about what the problem is with the sex. He also lets us know that he's been out of jail since 2003. He has a 17-year-old daughter that he had after he got out of jail. He was married after he got out of jail. So this is not his first relationship. He is not fresh out of jail. getting with Delicious. So he has had like 17 years since he's been in prison. So, you know, a lot of our reasoning for why he may have blockages, it may not necessarily have anything to do with prison. It may. But I wish he would be honest and talk about what those issues are so that it does not seem as if you are too scared of embarrassing yourself to be honest about whatever the issue really is between y'all. Okay. Yeah, that situation is unique in that she is complaining and she ain't saying nothing with the complaints. Like, write it down and take a picture. Okay. Listen. I think she's just saying, I want more passion. I want to be excited about having sex with you. I don't want it to feel like a chore. And I think sometimes with him, it feels like a chore. And it might be because all that ass, Delicious. Maybe it feels like, you know, a conquest. You know, maybe it just feels like too much of an obstacle course. Who knows? But I want them to get that situation together because, you know, they seem to like really well together based off of social media. They seem to be very good for each other. And, you know, that's just outside looking in. But anyway, so they have this comedy night situation, right? Everybody is supposed to be having a good time so that they can kind of, you know, decompress from all of the things that the medium, you know, was telling them. They're talking about a lot of dead people and serious, deep situations. So we want to lighten it up. So Michael Blackson is going to do a comedy, you know, situation. Really, it wasn't a comedy show. He just got on stage and ribbed the shit out of everybody for a good 10 minutes. And then that was that. But everybody had a good time. Ray J came out there drinking, okay? And even though he was drunk, Prinky didn't mind because he was having a good time. And then Kirk and his new hairline decided to bring up the lingerie. And now Ray J is like, nah, I'm going to ask her. He was like, maybe you should wait, you know, until y'all a little bit in a better place or something, Ray J. That's Kirk with the fuck it face. Shout out to Roxanne. And Ray J's like, nah, see, I'm going to ask her now. But then he go out there like, I want to do a toast, okay? Because they got a lot of men out here trying to fuck our wives and shit. And I just want to say, you ain't fucking my wife. I was like, Ray J, what is going on? It went on for much longer than that. But I don't have time for drunk ass speeches by niggas that's being indirect. And Prinky was like, what was that about? Like, it was definitely weird energy. But Raymond felt it. He was like, yeah, there are definitely, you know, men out there trying to fuck our wives. We have beautiful wives. I'm like, there are always men trying to fuck y'all's wives. Do y'all not realize that most men's wives are somebody that somebody else want to fuck? It's you niggas that, you know, not everybody want to fuck y'all, but like most of people's wives, there's definitely somebody that wants to fuck your wife. Even if you don't think so, if you're not worrying about it, somebody wants to fuck your wife. Okay? It is what it is. Okay? Get over it. Okay? But yeah, he just basically got up there and ribbed everybody for a good 10 minutes. Ray J never brought up the lingerie to Prinky, but I am wondering if he will. And when he does, it's going to completely ruin the mood. I'm glad he didn't say anything that night because for what we saw, because it would have definitely ruined the whole mood. It would have just been terrible. I put this picture up because he called Rashida a leprechaun and I thought it was funny. But that was basically it, y'all. I'm glad I decided to start doing these shows together because this week they weren't really giving much, which is so funny because they didn't need to give much because Real Housewives of Atlanta Portia and them was giving the absolute fucking most. So we didn't even really need a lot from them. But I'm gonna say this with this show. I would like to see some clarification because I feel like y'all are skating on the boundaries. You want to have a relationship show when you're dealing with real issues, but everybody is so fucking scared to say what the real issues are. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of annoying to me. I fast forward, baby. Ray J scenes, Princess happy, he's smiling, but while he's drunk. That's problematic. Tired of hearing about them. I'm tired about them too. I want them to just get a divorce and move the fuck on. I really do. Are you going to talk about the freak of the week? Who's the freak of the week? Who's the freak of the week, y'all? I missed it. Sex ed, no sex ed class, child. I would really like to see them do like a sex ed type of situation. They need a sexual therapist. That's what they need. Raymond and Delicious. because child. Oh, child, we already talked about Portia in a whole nother video. Okay. Y'all late. Go watch that video. This ain't that. It's like going to therapy and saying I need help with my life and never saying what's been going on. Yes, that's what it feels like. So even though these things, you know, we're seeing these things in their relationships, they're not really telling us anything. They're not really dealing with any of their real issues. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of feel like the shit is cute, it's entertaining, but it does not deserve its own review, which is why I'm glad I'm doing it in this format. None of the shows was given like that. But it was cool for what it was, but it wasn't all that. Look like they're gonna be doing tantric yoga next week. Ooh, I want to do tantric yoga. Child, let me get off of here before I start telling my business. Anyway, I love y'all. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you do want to hear me talk about Portia, then please go and check out the previous Bondi Blue show, okay, that I did right before this one. So I love you guys. Y'all make sure y'all have a good rest of y'all day. And y'all know y'all can look for me tomorrow afternoon around the same time. We'll be talking about the scripted shows because This Is Us comes on tonight. So we'll do Pose 911 and This Is Us tomorrow for the scripted shows. And I'll also be doing another Bondi Blue show because I'm sure there'll be way more tea to be spilt and more things to talk about tomorrow. All right. So I love you guys and I hope you guys enjoyed and I will see y'all in